So, hello and welcome back, everyone. I am pleased to announce that Rebelle will be kicking off today's Tech Summit. And with us, we have CEO and CFO Cécile and Alex, live from Hamburg. Please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, and welcome to the presentation of Rebelle. I would like to use the first moments to introduce you to our business model in a nutshell, and also to us as management team. Talking about Rebelle, we are talking about a pure play second-hand e-commerce platform, Rebelle.com, currently available throughout the European Union in 5 different languages. And we always say we are a managed marketplace due to the fact that we take full control about every single transaction being made on our website, really also physically improving products' authenticity and quality. Talking about our products, we talk mainly about all fashion products, accessories, bags, leather goods, etc., from all well-known designer brands of the world. So the most common brands on our website you would find are Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada, Hermès, Gucci, etc. All second-hand, so 100% used goods, with currently around about 200,000 unique pieces listed on our platform, all following a truly circular business approach, and e-commerce being our one and only trading channel. This is us, the founder and management team, Alexander, Max and me. Max and me founded the company together back in 2013 with the main idea in really shaping and changing something in one of the dirtiest industries in the world. Me always with the focus in product and marketing, Max being the mastermind behind all our operational processes, and Max being and Alex being our CFO and finance guy and responsible for all KPIs. Yeah, talking about sustainability in fashion nowadays is much more fun, obviously, because the awareness has risen so much over the last years that it really became a consumer topic, and the overall industry is shifting in the direction of circularity, and of course in the direction of more sustainability. The awareness is there that the fashion industry is the second dirtiest industry in the world, with something between 5 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. We kind of always had the simple approach already when we started to build up a platform which makes it easy for buyers and sellers coming together and thus prolong the life cycle of every single good. And we are very happy to see that, especially for a young generation today, sustainability is sometimes even the key factor when making their purchasing decision. Looking onto our market, as Rebelle is positioned in the high-end part of the fashion market, we always looked at the market for personal luxury goods. We are talking about a market worth $430 billion today, with Europe being the largest market even before Asia and the US. The biggest growth coming from the resale segment currently, with an estimated CAGR of over 30% over the next coming years. So it's like really a huge market with a big segment, which is like so fast developing right now, and it just started. And what we also see, and this makes it for us, of course, in several directions very interesting, is that luxury is really one of the key and major interesting sectors when it comes to e-commerce, because it's like so stable in value. It's also so stable in quality, so it actually can have several owners after another. It's quite limited in terms of distribution, so the brands, they protect their brands and products so much that you don't find them in many places. And you have like a similar high demand of all these valuable brands and products when it comes to internationalizing the business. Furthermore, we also see that there's more and more players out there, retailers and brands, who are now looking to tap into the resale segment by partnering with professional luxury resellers such as Rebelle. Talking about our business, of course, for a marketplace, you need buyers and sellers. So you are basically serving all the time 2 different target groups. One is the sell side. Here we serve commercial sellers as well as private individuals. We do this with 2 different selling services. Our major used service is called our concierge service, which makes it super easy and less time consuming than any other service to just ship all the products to us, while we take care of the whole selling service, including finding the right price with our quite big today pricing database. And for the buy side, of course, when you still spend a couple of hundreds or thousands of euros on used products, you want an authenticity guarantee and a quality guarantee. And this is something we do with our authenticity database, which we have built up over the last 9 years, which is super unique in the market and you wouldn't find elsewhere. Talking about Rebelle, how we are positioned, I said that we always have been positioned in the luxury to premium end of the market. This is the fact still today. We also believe that this positioning really needs to go very closely hand in hand with the best service offering for buyers and for sellers. This is also the main key reason why we established these value-added processes, which are like all very much automated, but still partly are happening in a physical process. And this differentiates us like really quite a lot from most of our other competitors out there, such as eBay and other big platforms who leave the transaction really to buyers and sellers themselves. Furthermore, Rebelle is really trading internationally. Almost 70% of our orders coming from cross-border orders, meaning that buyers and sellers are coming from different countries. And here we see that there are some like smaller players who also similarly do quite a nice job, but being way smaller than Rebelle, but with a nice local footprint. And these could, of course, for us be like on the way to an IPO act as potential M&A targets for us to just accelerate growth in some interesting markets. Talking about the business model and maybe also looking on it from like an investor's point of view, I think there are some highlights which we should not forget to mention. Like number 1 is definitely that it's a capital light business model, so we don't have any own working capital involved, so no money tied up in own inventory. This is due to the fact that the products still are in the possession of the seller until they are sold. This also leads to the fact that we have to deal with very few returns, the major pitfall of other conventional e-commerce companies. The fact that we are positioned in the luxury space leads to very high shopping baskets and high commission rates. On customer loyalty, I think like this is really worth looking at it twice because we see very strong loyalty rates on buyer and on seller side. And the model itself by nature creates quite high entry barriers due to the fact that you really need critical mass for a marketplace. And also what we call our tailor-made single SKU factory. So really tailor-made processes to be able at all to handle in a smooth way and cost-efficient way single piece products. Yeah, let me hand over to Alex, who guides you through some, I think, interesting KPIs of our business to understand this a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, hi, my name is Alex. I'm the CFO of Rebelle. I think one thing that really makes Rebelle stand out compared to other players, also in both in conventional e-commerce, but also very much in the second-hand space, is really the very high customer lifetime value that we're having. The customer lifetime value really is constituted out of 3 elements. First of all, on the left-hand side of the slide, you see that we're having a very high shopping basket. We're having an average shopping basket of around about 300 euros, which, considering the fact that we're talking about second-hand clothing, is really simply quite a lot. Many players in the mid-market space, they're talking about average shopping baskets of 30, 40, 50 euros. And of course, that helps us really, that the transaction is also interesting from an economical point of view. Second of all, Cécile already mentioned it briefly, we're having a pretty high repeat purchase rate. Typically, over the first 3 years of a customer relationship, we're talking about 3.5 orders per customer. That's different to most conventional e-commerce companies in the mid-market that really struggle to get their customers to place the second and third order. For us, the difference is that, of course, the discovery element of the marketplace with lots of brands that you can hardly find anywhere else, lots of new products arriving every day is a wonderful thing to talk about, to produce nice email marketing content and thereby to retain your customers. And the third one that makes our business model stand out is that we can charge a pretty healthy commission rate. We're talking about an average commission rate of around about 30%. Which is totally different to conventional naked digital marketplaces where you normally talk about 10% commission rate. Why can we charge 30%? Of course, because we're doing quite a lot for our commission. So we're producing the content, we're checking the authenticity, the quality, we're repackaging the items, and so on. So we're really creating a very much elevated buying and selling experience, just adding a lot of value, and therefore we can charge just quite a bit more for our service. This is a snapshot of the high-level P&L of Rebelle. On the left-hand side, you see the development of our transaction volume. We closed last year at just short of 26 million euros. So that's the total aggregated volume of the transactions that happen on the marketplace, net of returns and cancellations. It's hard to see now because it's so small, but there you see also on the left-hand side that we're talking about this 30% average commission rate. That gives rise to the commission that we also see. We had commission revenues of around about 7.5 million euros in 2021, and we had a negative EBIT of minus 2.2 million. Really driven by the fact that whenever we spend marketing, we're investing in the future because we're starting to make money with a second and a third transaction. And that's really also what we very much plan to do in the future, to really accelerate on the marketing side. Let me come to that in just a second. But before that, the chart on the right-hand side, just to say that from the sort of balance sheet point of view, it's a very lean business model. We're having almost no capex, so capex amounts to less than 1% of revenues, and the working capital is even negative. Last thing on the numbers, of course, we also have to mention something about COVID. It's been a roller coaster to some extent the last 2 years, as for everyone in business, that you had some impacts from COVID. Now that we are looking towards a very much easing pandemic situation in Germany, which is our core market, we're very much looking forward to that because, of course, the products that we're selling is all about also being able to show them, to wear them at functions, at weddings and events and so on. So we're thinking that will benefit quite a bit as the COVID situation eases. Talking about the future, we have a simple goal. We want to grow the business to 100 million sales by 2025. In order to do that, we will we will push marketing a lot, especially on the international side. Today we are a European business, but Germany is still our by far largest market. We already have customers in most other European markets, but there is really a big opportunity to push, and all we need to do that is in place. And in some markets, we also see the opportunity to shortcut our growth by conducting M&A with local companies. Then I can already hand back to Cécile with 1 minute left.
Thanks, Alex. It's up to me to close the presentation, and then we are, of course, here for questions. I really hope that even in the short time, it became clear what Rebelle is doing, the way we want to pursue, and also that we are really acting in a not only super huge and attractive market, but in a super strongly growing one, which is pushed by a strong ESG megatrend, which is here to stay, and it's not going away. Same for the shift in consumers' mindset. So we really believe that our segment just started. We are right now aiming for the first green IPO on European Nasdaq. in the coming days. Fingers crossed everything works out. In general, I think I can talk for us as management team when I say that besides the money-making opportunity, which we of course see behind this business, what drives us the most is to really see that we have the chance to change something here in one of the dirtiest industries in the world. And we have laid quite a good and scalable basis for that over the last years. So we are really looking with a long-term perspective into a very bright future, I would say. And yeah, we are here for questions if you may have some, and if you want to join our journey one day, of course, we would be very happy.
Great. Right on time. Thank you very much, Cécile and Alex. So perhaps we could kick off by asking, why did you choose Nasdaq Stockholm for your listing?
It was an idea of one of our shareholders. I didn't mention anything on our shareholders, but we have two Nordic shareholders from Denmark, both based in Copenhagen. And they came pretty much 1 year ago up with the idea to say, like, wouldn't an IPO be a wonderful way to secure our really long-term approach to winning this market? And I said, yes, but according to my experience, you need to be a bit bigger for an IPO, especially in Germany, since we don't have a very vibrant small cap market. And they said, well, let's look at it again, and let's look at it also in a very open manner. Let's look at also some international exchanges. And pretty early in the process, we ended up talking to the senior management of Nasdaq, and they said, well, this could be actually a very good fit, because we're very much having the idea to establish ourselves more and more as a hub for European growth companies. And also, I think what they obviously already had in mind is that they were to start this green designation. And of course, our company, our business model, all being about sustainability, is a very good fit for that. And yeah, it all came together. We were introduced to a few players in the Stockholm scene and so on, and all started from there. And I must say, from A to Z, it's been a very welcoming experience to a very vibrant and dynamic ecosystem as I have gotten to know it now.
Thank you, Alex. And you touched upon this in your presentation, but which markets are you active in today, and what do your expansion plans look like going forward?
Yeah, maybe I take this on. Like for us, we always saw the European Union as our core market, but as Alex said, our main market still on buyer and on seller side is Germany or the German-speaking countries. So right now we are on the way and with the big aim on further internationalizing the business and the marketplace. So we will further gain traction in the Nordics, in Italy as like one of our very interesting strategic markets also, like also in the Benelux and in Spain, for instance.
Thank you. And have you partnered with any specific first-hand buyers that you would like to share?
We have partnered a lot over the last years with several partners from the first-hand industry, be it luxury retailers or also brands themselves, such as Mytheresa, just to name an example. And here as I said, we clearly see that there are so many motivation right now and the willingness to really also tap and step into the resale segment, as this is also what their customers are asking for. But they, like around 60% of their, by statistics, are planning to do this with a professional reseller on their side, just because it's like really tremendously complex to build these operations up from scratch, and this is just not their core business. So we will definitely partner with way more partners in the next coming years.
Yes, I believe that's the right way to go, because scale is really what will be your biggest competitive advantage, I believe. So with this upcoming capital injection, I hope you put a pedal to the metal, so to speak, and simply grow your business. It's also very good to see that you're such a sustainable company, and you're compensating for all the outbound deliveries that you send out, carbon compensating, and looking forward to being part of the first green IPO, just like you mentioned. Thank you very much, guys, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.